So what are you doing today, Johan? Are you planting some saplings or what?
Okay, today I can say that thank you very much to welcome me into this meeting. Just a conversation with you, all the members of the NUUU. And myself, I want to introduce my project of tree planting project in Tanzania here, especially in my district called Karatu district, in a small part called Ganako ward. And I decided to introduce this this project because most of the people here in my district are cutting down the trees and making the deforestations. And not only that, but also people like it to plant the tree, which is nonsense, which is not used for them, like fruit trees. They are not introduced that one. So now I introduce fruit trees like mangoes, potatoes, oranges, avocados. So this is a tree, and also it's a fruits. So it's they can get 2 or 3 benefits from that tree. Not only the tree, but the tree with the fruits.
Right.
And
permaculture type idea. We have many uses for one piece of whatever's in the landscape.
I don't have a landscape. I don't have a land, my own land, but I lend it from someone else here, and I used to pay him just for 1 year, and then I pay just renting. I don't have my own land here, so this is the problem which I have. It's not only that, but also water. I have a problem with water because I don't have my own water. I didn't be drilling the water down.
Are you having it delivered, or do you have a well? I forget.
I don't have a well. I used to buy the water from the river. I used to rent the car, so the car is bring the water there. I have a local sim tank, which is help me on watering my tree. Actually, I don't have a well there.
The wells in your area, how deep are they normally? Do you have any wells that people are using? Just curious.
Yeah, it depends on the. Yeah, it depends on the place. It depends because some is deep, like you can dig 100 meter, or sometimes can be 50 meter, sometimes can be 35 meter. It depends on the place, on the plane of the area.
Okay, for right now, it's a cistern you use. You get your water and you deliver it yourself, with what I understand.
Yeah, I buy it from someone, from the river. So I used to buy from the river. I send someone with the cars, and he bring the water up to my place, and he pour into my local sim tank there, and I used to use slow. When it's finishing, I send them to bring again.
Okay, so that's one of the first things we're going to get you, some water, right? Some water, available for yourself. Either a well, probably a well would be the best thing. Your own well, your own land eventually. But we're working on the funding, and we're going to help everybody that's contributing to the planet. So that's the idea here.
Okay, what I can say, Vitols, there is just like I wrote down my schedule, my skeleton of the business project there. need workers to help me just to fill the bags of the seedlings, and also some gears like a wheelbarrow, like a water pump, like just a small things there. I know that to get my own well now is somehow difficult, but I don't know if you will help me at that.
Is there any illegal restrictions about that, or can you just bring in a driller and a locator? How does that work in your country?
Yeah, it's illegal. It's illegal. You can bring the drill here, and you can drill my own. You are allowed. You are allowed.
Okay. It's on tap. Okay, Johanna, let's go on to Wendy. Thank you, Johanna. Let's introduce Wendy here, and maybe you can talk a little bit about yourself, Wendy, what you're doing with your kids. And Wendy's in Texas, so hi, Wendy.
Hi, Val. Hi, everyone. We are in Texas. We're somewhat near Houston, but we're kind of everywhere too, you know, because the children, they like to travel through their awareness and everything like that. But we're life schoolers is what we call it. It's not any type of official thing. For us it is, but it's just taking every day and doing what makes sense. And then also a lot of our I don't even really like to use the word curriculum, but a lot of our life stuff is based around the soil, everything coming from the soil, survivalist type of learning, planting every day, giving back to earth and to our environment, doing what makes sense for the environment, and raising them to get to know who they are so they can work through all of that human one-dimensional stuff. So that's part of raising them. We just kind of take it day by day, because there's a lot of this human stuff that is a bit of a challenge with the environment that we're in as far as our home life. So currently that's finally hit its head, and we are removing a particular parasite from our environment, and we're about to step into something very new. So we're excited for that. So we'll be moving over the next course of a month. So a lot of their business, they wanted to do something that made sense since we're moving from where they used to make all their bamboo planters, things that they would donate and also sell. We had bamboo on the property, but we're moving from there. So they've decided to change things up and start working on seed pollinator seed bombs, making it from clay, recycled clay. People are donating. We've got 2 places that will donate clay to us from a friend of ours. So after we get moved, they'll be working more on getting a social media presence to bring awareness to seed bombs and pollinating plants and giving back to the environment, even when it's in a small way like that. So that's mainly their goal this year, is to focus on bringing awareness to their group of their generation of their ages, to bring awareness, because what I've been raising them is, with a lot of what's going on in the world, includes all of the social media that's going on in the world. They are made privy and taught about all of that as well. And it doesn't make sense for the world to be heading towards how to do the best dance on TikTok. So they would like to help bring in a way of showing up for their awareness, showing up for their life, showing up for this environment that we're on. And they want to step out, and they've all decided to be part of doing something together. So that's the focus for this year. Since we're moving from the property of where all of our plants were, all of our garden, all of our crops, all of our bamboo, we're moving from this homestead that we were at for approximately 14 years. We're moving from there, so it's now becoming a bit of a new position to move into something else. So that's where we are right now. And then just dealing with the everyday stuff that they have going on with themselves, focusing on each one individually because they are very unique light beings in themselves. So that's always priority two. That's what we've got going on over here. Thank you for listening.
You're doing it, Wendy. That's wonderful, wonderful. I mean, it's heartwarming. How many, what are the ages of your kids, just for the other people here?
Right. We've got, pardon me. I've got Raymond. He is 15. He's a boy. He's very in tune with technology, but also in tune with his awareness and environment. Jeffrey Clayton is 9. He's extremely intuitive as far as being able to feel things before they happen. We've got, and very nature oriented, Jeffrey Clayton is. He is 9. And then Willow is 7, and she's the girl. She's a bit more free with herself, which is very interesting to watch and to help her grow into. She's also she's like this huge light. You just can't not watch her develop so beautifully. So we've got 15, 9, and 7. So they're all kind of moving into specific areas this coming year of, being a human, because there's all these human things going on with preteen, teen, and all these things. So that's their ages.
Well, indigenous cultures, they're approaching manhood and womanhood and getting into the reality here. What kind of community do you have that you're working with? Do you have other families you're working with?
No, we don't currently have any more. We had several families that we considered to be in co-op with, that unfortunately we cut ties with 3 of the 4. And there were various reasons why we all made the choice to do that. Most of those reasons involve just the families being inappropriate. So we aren't currently, we're kind of like sole rangers now. We have one other co-op family that is still seemingly behaving appropriately. So we do encourage to do things with them, but we are extremely far apart. They're all I was going to say they're all the way in Austin, when right now we are actually in Austin at my sister's. So they're pretty far away. So as far as weekly things, it's not so much. So really right now, the kids communicate with a lot of their community friends virtually on the devices, it's becoming a very unique world where now it's moving towards a lot of more virtual work and virtual communication. So we did decide that when we do this move, we're going to work on, bringing more awareness through their social media presence. And then they would like to focus on building a community around they're calling them life bombs. They decided on the name, and it's life bombs, which is their motto is seeding life. So they want to seed life itself through the seed bombs and bringing awareness to people giving back to their environment. Even if they're on a trail walk, even if they have camping in the park, just having those seed bombs on hand to just toss into the environment or nicely place or make it a monthly or weekly thing for people. They also want to help bring awareness to families about composting. It's very important to start replenishing the soil on this planet. If you've done the research about the soil here in the United States, it's quite mind-boggling that there aren't more groups dedicated to helping bring awareness to people composting their food, and also their pets, stuff from their pets, composting that and recycling it back into the environment, making plants with it. In addition, a lot of that compost that we have seen the most tremendous growth in many of our crops and our plants by using the soil from the vegetable strained water or all of the compost of the leftover food we have. When we've ground it up and allowed it to make it the way it breaks down, and then we put it back into a pot or put it around the plant specifically that we're trying to repair or help regrow, regrow a specific plant, we've seen tremendous changes in the plants. So that's been a main focus of ours for the past 3 or 4 years, was our elephant ears, our plants, our garden in the back. So they do want to, so back to your original question, they do want to build a community and restructure a community, but it's going to more so be this year based around a social media presence that could involve more people around the world instead of just our main community here, our community base near Houston.
Great. And I welcome your kids to post in our group, our Facebook group, and just generally all around, since that's going to be their focus. So we're posting stuff that we're doing locally and sharing it. You could join other Facebook groups that are doing something with the soil or the environment, just to get us out there too. And also invite people to our group, our public group, the New Adventure and Awareness School. So that's something they could be doing too. But that's great what you're doing and what you've done. It's just wonderful. You're on track, I'd say. So we want to help. In the school, we want to help you to reach more of your potential. That's the idea here with what everybody here is doing, plus the public. Help them, give them the opportunity to reach their potential, especially with the environment. That's where it starts. Clean food, clean water, clean air. The compost, I can see, I'm down here in Baja where it's very sandy silt soil, if you can call it soil. I mean, it's real easy to dig. You can dig like a couple feet down in a couple minutes. It's so easy, but there's not a lot of organic material in what we have here to work with. So I started a compost pile. My tomatoes in the compost pile was, huge, and the one in the soil, it actually died because there was nothing to feed off of. The roots had nothing to feed off of. So composting, very important. The soil, very important. Chemtrails and all the crap that's being dumped into the soil and water, affects the microorganisms. Thank you, Wendy. And maybe we're going to have these meetings for everybody every other week. So you're welcome to bring your kids in next time too, and we can meet them because they're of age now, you could say.
Yes, they are. They right now are with my sister. It's been quite a few traumatic last few days. So we're trying to just get them recouped on the mental side of things to make sure they're all right for the coming month of the move and everything. So I would have had them on today, but again, they're still a bit fragile, but they're so strong with what's happened. So that's why they're not on today, but they sure will be ideally next week if this is weekly. So, and what's also great is they will be able to talk about, after all of the education that I've been working with them on, that when you said clean air, clean water, clean food, they are extremely privy to this because they're seeing the effects on their body. Even when we are eating almost as clean as it can get, they're still seeing many effects that we can't quite control. And it's made them very aware, self-aware as well, to see that some of the main components and for a 7, 9, and 15-year-old, if you were to line up, others comparably, you'd see that the others are not, 9 out of 10 are not concerned at all with the air, water, or clean food. But mine are. They're like, where can we go that is away from all? They're just trying to find ways. They're like, they read the boxes of everything, which we don't get a lot of box stuff, but they're extremely aware now, maybe in a sense of where it's not healthy, but I wanted to make sure that they question everything and they research and they become more aware about how, how polluted everything is. Like Raymond the other day, he lifted something up that was given to him as a gift, and he said, Mom, I won't use this. And I said, why so? And he said, this is just not going to be good for me. And, there's no point. It's a waste. And I looked at the ingredients, and he said, I just don't even want to put this on my skin or my hair. It's just not I'm going to stick with what we make. And so it's kind of like that. It's kind of like where they are now seeing, so much is harmful for them. One of them asked the other day, where can we get clean water? Because with this big change that we're all going through, we're again leaving our estate, our home that we've been at for a very long time. So we've had to look at other places, and it's been quite a struggle, but it's all going to take its course, right? And one of the main factors was looking at somewhere where there was clean water. And it was a very big factor for us because we've lived somewhere for so long where we had spring and well water. So, even with them being so cautious of Mom, we have to filter out where the places are, because we just cannot do, the public water, or the sewer water, or the toilet to tap water. That's how much of a current concern it is for them, that they said it before I had even put it in the search of the filters. So that was really great to see that stuff is coming to fruition, that it's actually sticking with them and becoming ingrained in who they are, to stand up for themselves, and then be able to stand up for others and work towards something in their future, instead of just sitting and lying down about it and, being aware about it, but not doing anything about it. So it's been quite interesting and fun to see that play out with the children. With this move, they brought up so many things that are great, that tie into what they've been taught from the information I've been learning from Duane's books, from my own awareness, from my own dream side, real side experiences, and to be able to instill it in the kids and then see it come out has been actually quite pleasurable. So yeah, they're very in tune with the clean environment and putting back into the environment. It's one of the key things that we could work on, because they look at me and say, what for to have children? What for to have children then, Mom? We're just putting them into this type of environment if we're not going to work towards a better environment. So, and they know we're not here to excuse me, they know we're not here to save the planet. We're just here to improve it while we're here each lifetime, become more aware, and do what we can. So yeah, I'll sum that up there.
Wonderful. Yeah, they're the teachers. They are going to be the teachers of us all. I've got this woman, Markita. She's from the Czech Republic. She did the Pacific Crest Trail with her family last year. I think it was a 2-year-old, which said they carry a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, or a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old, something like that. But she's interested in this too. But she took these kids on this, adventure, which is just awesome. The two of them walked themselves, and they got a lot of education, in the wilderness, being out there surviving through that. And she's wanting to get a school started too. She's interested in this, what we're doing. So I hope to bring her in, and your kids will have somebody, well, your kids are older, but there'll be another family here hopefully soon too, you can relate to. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, go on to Raj. Hi, Raj from Oklahoma. Can you tell us a little about what you're doing, Raj, these days?
Well, these days I've done a lot of research, and I'd like to start thank everyone. It's nice to meet everyone. My name is Raj, and I go by NUUU online, and I live in Oklahoma. And my interest is in genealogy, history, natural medicines. And I just wrote a quick outline here of some of the ideas that I had, was to actually secure some property here we have water here. We can still drill here, you know, but some of the best water that I've found is in Nevada. They have, because it's so remote, but yet there's water that you can reach, and it's some of the best water I've ever tasted. You know, it's not great for growing, but you know, Oklahoma, as it stands, you know, I'm in a really good location. I came home doing a genealogy research project that was personal to myself. And when I got here, COVID had hit, and I didn't get a chance to really go ahead and do the real in-depth detail search that I really truly wanted to do, and that was on my own family. So, but what I have been researching here is, and I've done, you know, like the local farmers, what I've done to do my part is not shop at Walmart. Okay. What I've done to do, you know, I find solutions, and I'm buying the local cheese. I'm buying the local beef. I'm running the local poultry down, you know, the nut farmer, and trying to get the best, actually to reduce the amount of evil that I have to eat, and that I have to drink, and that I have to breathe, you know, and that's really all I can do. And I call that damage control. So in a perfect world, if I could create what I see, because I am Native American, and I really believe that I'm truly, we all are one, and we're just all one. I know it, you know, if you know. So if I could do anything and give a gift to mankind, it would be a beautiful energy, perfect frequency flowing from the dwelling that you live in, the way you move, the way you talk to it. You know, everything is alive to me. It truly, truly is. So, you know, I'd like to plant my indigenous seeds, which they say haven't been genetically modified, but they're, you know, we used to be able to produce, the native people could produce food to eat within 3 months of planting. Okay. And if you could survive for 3 months, this diet, which I'm trying to get the seeds so that I can grow. So if I build a feng shui home, which gives me a great balance every day I wake up, right, for myself, because it starts at home with yourself. So you get up, you create, you use the seeds to eat, you plant your little medicine garden, you drink your medicine in the morning and eat it throughout the day in your diet, and then you just go about your day in this beautiful environment. So you have your medicine garden, your vegetable garden, you have your fruit trees, you know, Johanna's got it. He's got the fruit trees. Why are we sitting here putting in pine trees in my front yard? I can't eat that pine tree. Maybe I can drink it in some tea, but it's not going to be saving my life or, you know, giving me any kind of self-sustaining medicinal, you know, properties here. It's just for looks. And we have pecan trees and walnut trees and all this stuff. You know, my grandma was never successful with avocados here, but you know, we could, you know, grow nut trees and, you know, live in smaller dwellings. Like I'm looking into the smaller homes, and everyone on this panel right now, it would be nice to be able to have, you know, for it to be like a educational, you know, trip to come over and to see what I'm doing, you know, to see, and if I'm successful at what I would like to do, you know. Do I have bricks and mortar like Val does? No, I don't. It's just the feeling that I have, that I think that we need to go in that direction. You know, I don't want to live in the English style homes anymore, because I need somewhere to process my dry goods. You know, I need my livestock, or, you know, my goat needs to be close to the back door. The compost that Wendy wants, it's not a big thing. You know, it's just one step. All all the trimmings off the vegetables go here, and I walk it out, throw it in the compost, throw some dirt on it, turn it every couple weeks or whatever, and then put it in my garden and just, live a really good and more abundant life, quiet. And, and we all just work together in our own, with what we've got, because we're all different. We all require a different diet. We all come from different backgrounds, beliefs. I do. I'm new to all of this. So I just, that's kind of what I'm doing. And, I'm getting it all in the book, wrote down, mapped out, diagrammed. I don't need funding until I need funding. Right?
Yeah, I think you said it there. You made a good point about having people come see what you're doing, and that's kind of what we're doing here in Baja. It's like role modeling or modeling a community that's self-sustaining and that makes sense. And each one of us has that opportunity here. You, Raj, where
Right.
you're at, and Lindy, and
I agree.
and Kelsey's
Well, we'll
gonna.
all learn from each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we get to make our own traditions. We get to make, there is no limit unless you limit yourself.
Well, they're pushing globalization, but it's actually, the tribal clan thing that makes more sense, where you're working with the local environment and local people and then expanding out as far as you want. But, locally you can get a lot more done than depending on potatoes from, who knows where coming in.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
honestly, that's what we need to do is each and every person here needs to have their little area. They need to have their medicine on hand growing. They need to have their salad. They need to have this. I've looked into ecosystems that they built out in Arizona out of an old pool. That's really neat. They pull in chickens, goat for cheese, the vegetables, and then they have fresh fish. So they have salad, they have fish, and this is all in the middle of the desert. It's all really, truly a matter of mindset. Truly.
there's enough for everybody if we just made sense of things. There really is. There's enough clean water, enough this and that, whatever we need, food. It's just the restrictions, the marketing that there's scarcity, and the control that the elites have it's causing all this.
They're
So
lying.
we don't have
Well,
to
you know how I feel about
agree.
that.
We can do our own thing. We don't have to
Mhm.
rebel, but we can do our own thing and show others how to do it. And that's kind of the idea here with the school, to show people how they can unagree themselves, and do better for themselves and their
Right.
families. Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
not hard.
I
It's
agree.
not, it's just agreement that makes it. You're subconsciously being controlled by something. What if we had TV commercials, like constant, like Wendy's Kids, and like really real stuff, like people gardening and growing trees? And what if we saw that instead of pharmaceutical commercials? I mean, pretty soon people would catch on if there was something real on TV and the movies rather than the drama. A lot of it's revenge these days too. We're watching Netflix, and a lot of it's just revenge and like how to get the other guy, how to put one over on him, and fighting and competition. Doesn't have to be that way, but that's what's in people's heads, right now. So we can help show other ways of doing things, and people would go for it if they just knew how. People see what's going on, but they don't know what to do. So that's another part of this school, is helping people see that they can do something for themselves. There are opportunities.
Thank you, Val.
Thank you,
Nice
Raj.
to meet everyone.
Kelsey L. Brown, is it? Hello, Kelsey. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about yourself?
Hello. I'm currently in Portsmouth, Virginia, and I've been working on the new Adventure and Awareness website. I plan to get to a computer either tomorrow or the day after so I can actually complete the website. It's been fun, and I've been adding bios for everyone, not necessarily what everyone has sent me. I've added to even what you've sent me to give the website some more bulk. And I like this idea of the commercials everywhere. I'm going to do some video, just short video to show what's growing outside at my house right now. And eventually when I get a computer, I can do more on the websites. This is what I like to do. I like to do the websites. And yeah, I'm back on social media. I've been off of social media for 2.5 years. I used to live with Val and Duane in Huntington Beach, California, and Northern California, and Baja, Mexico. So I had experience there, and we've had a lot of fun doing adventures in our environmental projects and promotion, especially online. So I'm back online. I now have a cell phone, and I'm just doing what I can one step at a time, getting my financial situation together, etc. So yes, I'm Kelsey Brown. Feel free to add me on WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Anything else you might want to know, let me know. I'm usually working on an iPad. So if you can send me Word documents for anything with the website or just plain text, that's better than sending me PDFs. So I can add it to the website and update the website. The other idea I have with the website is I'll add a blog section. So in that blog section, each person can have their own one blog post. And when you send me updates about what you're doing, I can add to it, whether that's text, pictures, or videos. But just be patient with me because I don't have a working computer every day. So it will take me time to update and do those things. I'm 29 years old.
That's great, Kelsey. You do a lot. That's great. Yeah. We depend on the youth here to keep us going. So that's great that you can do this for us on the website, and just generally being here. It's great. And yeah, I lived with Kelsey for a while in Mexico, both in Northern California, and we did a lot of interesting, fun things. I want to keep this fun too. So Kelsey and I did a lot of like skits and like little, going out to psychic fairs, and even ran for city council once. Kelsey was, helping my campaign manager, and we had a lot of fun with different things that we did to get out to the public. So yeah, she knows, and you all know that working with Duane, the great writer, he's the like CEO of the New Presentation Foundation and the nonprofit that's worldwide projects that we're doing for self-sufficient communities and just to wake up the world to what's going on. And we're not political, we're not spiritual or religious, or in a way, we're not even humanitarian, but we are, but we're just more so of we just want to see people thrive and do better for themselves. And that means going beyond what you've already known in the furthest so-called deepest levels. It's going beyond what you already know, what you already think you know, and what you think is good for you, and what you think where you think you want to go, your heaven or your happy place. I mean, there's so much more. There's so much more to this that people have the potential of reaching. But it starts with the environment, because that's what we're working with here. We have physical bodies, the food, air, water. We need those to be operational so our bodies can last here. So we got to start with that. Plus, people can relate to the environment. Some people, not a lot of people can't, but at least, we look innocent enough so that, okay, they're not a cult. Some people do call us still a cult, but, we're working with something tangible and real, the environment. And that's basically it. And if people want to go further, they can, but basically we're right there with what makes sense, with how to survive. And survivability is basically it too. That's the main point, how to survive the experience here on Earth. And that means physically, emotionally, and more. So there's a lot to this, and I really appreciate everybody being here. It's a good start. We want to keep communicating, if we can daily, sending in what you're doing, a video or a photo to Kelsey, to the Facebook page, and tell us your progress, what you're doing, because it's only going to get better here as we move along, because we got the support of life. We're not just like do-gooders here. We got a backup. Raj kind of hinted at it once too. We got life supports us, because our connection to what's really real. And you'll get to know that as you move along here with us, what we're doing. So I'm open to any ideas how we can get this going, because I don't really have a fixed idea about like classes and how we're going to set this up. I just wanted to start this idea of a school and I'd rather just have instructors, say there's instructors and there's supporters. Instead of students, have supporters, use that term. And then go from there in terms of how we're going to set it up. So if you have any ideas, think about it. If you want to share now, or any other ideas, go ahead, open it up here. If not, we can just call it. And like I said, we can meet every other week and give next week, Wendy's kids will be here, hopefully, and get input from, and also the funding should, in 2 weeks, we should know a lot. That's going to change a lot too with the funding that our nonprofit is going to be receiving, because that'll change a lot of things here. I mean, we'll have access to resources that we normally wouldn't. Look at the elites. They print their own money. They basically can buy anything they want, bribe anybody. That's how they've gotten to the position they're in right now. They control the economy, the financial system. That's it. Marketing, they control TV, movies, everything. So with money, you can do something here. We can make a little bit of an impact. And then there's so much more too to that. And then to me, yeah, my introduction, I'm basically a hiker and a gardener, you could say. Those two things are my focus, and the self-sustaining communities. And working with a new presentation and getting this message out there that there's so much more potential everybody has. Thank you again, everybody. Johanna, Raj, Wendy, Kelsey. And if there's nothing else, we'll see you around.
Thank you all.
Thank you. You're doing
Thank
good,
you,
everybody.
Wendy. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
This recording will be available. We'll put it up on the Facebook group. Thank you.